Before Dr. Joe Dispenza, many years before him actually, there was Neville Goddard, and he was teaching the law of assumption. What you feel and what you think to be true about yourself and about everything around you will create that thing into your life, will shape your reality to match what you think and feel about yourself and about everything in the world. Dr. Joe Dispenza is well known for the miraculous healings that happen in his events. But before Dr. Joe Dispenza, Neville Goddard was actually telling people how to heal themselves from incurable diseases. And in this testimonial, this was so powerful to the point that many people were just shocked. Only the most complete and intense use of the law of assumption could have produced such results in this extreme situation. 4 years ago, a friend of our family asked that I talk with his 28-year-old son, who was not expected to live. He got something so serious in his body, a very dangerous health issue. He was suffering from a rare heart disease. This disease resulted in a disintegration of the organ, so his heart was not functioning at all. Long and costly medical care had been of no avail. Doctors held out no hope for recovery. For a long time, the son had been confined to his bed. His body had shrunk to almost a skeleton. So this guy right here, 28 years old only, and he's confined to his bed. He lost all hope. All doctors told him that he cannot live that way. And he could talk and breathe only with great difficulty. His wife and 2 small children were home when I called. So even this young man got a wife and 2 kids. So his whole life is crumbling in front of his eyes. What would anybody do in this situation? This is a very difficult situation to be in. But Neville got to talk with this young man, and his wife was present throughout our discussion. I started by telling him that there was only one solution to any problem, and that solution was a change of attitude. Since talking exhausted him, I asked him to nod in agreement if he understood clearly what I said. This he agreed to. So even that young man couldn't actually talk to Neville. He was just nodding his head in agreement when he understands, and just like getting what Neville is saying. I described the facts underlying the law of consciousness. In fact, that consciousness was the only one reality. I told him that the way to change any condition was to change his state of consciousness concerning it. As a specific aid in helping him to assume the feeling of already being well, I suggested that in imagination he see other doctors' face, expressing incredulous amazement in finding him recovered, contrary to all reason, from the last stages of an incurable disease, that he see him double-checking in his examination and hear him say over and over, "It's a miracle. It is a miracle." So Neville Goddard here is telling this young man to imagine that the doctor is in front of him, and he's saying it's a miracle. This cannot be possible. This guy's supposed to be dead. He's now making an incredulous recovery. This is amazing. Nothing else was like that before. And in this scenario, Neville is using a very special technique, and that is hearing. Not only seeing, but hearing people around you. This was one of the techniques that I've put in my ebook, because many of you guys cannot visualize correctly because you have short attention span. So this is a really good alternative. You can actually hear people in your imagination. He not only understood all this clearly, but he believed it implicitly. He promised that he would faithfully follow this procedure. His wife, who had been listening intently, assured me that she, too, would diligently use the law of assumption and her imagination in the same way as her husband. The following day, I sailed for New York. All this taking place during a winter vacation in the tropics. So Neville was in Barbados, the tropics, and he sailed for New York City. He just met this guy, he told him what he told him, and then he sailed to New York City. Several months later, I received a letter saying the son had made a miraculous recovery. On my next visit, I met him in person. He was in perfect health, actively engaged in business, and thoroughly enjoying the many social activities of his friends and family. So this guy not only made an incredulous and miraculous healing, but he became a very successful businessman. He used the law of assumption not only for his health, but also to get financially stable. And this is what you need to do, guys. If you want something in your life, you have to imagine it and sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled every single day. Do not miss a day until one day you will wake up and you will feel like it's already done. You won't be feeling like you have to imagine it anymore. You will just drop it, let it go, and focus on the next thing. Just like when you are putting a seed in the soil. When you put it, you just leave it there. You don't dig down the soil again and see if it's growing. You just leave it there. Maybe in one day it can happen. Maybe in 1 week it can happen. Maybe in 1 month it can happen. It doesn't matter. It will happen either way. He told me that from the day I left, he never had any doubt that it would work. He described how he had faithfully followed the suggestion I had made to him, and day after day had lived completely in the assumption of already being well and strong. Now, 4 years after his recovery, he is convinced that the only reason he is here today is due to his successful use of the law of assumption. So this young man didn't have any doubts if it would work. He was having complete and intense faith in the law of assumption. He followed Neville Goddard's steps. He told him to imagine a scene where the doctors were telling him, "It's a miracle. You are now recovered. It's a miracle. This cannot be possible. It's a miracle." And day after day, him and his wife slept feeling as if he is already recovered. And bam, it happened. And not only that, he imagined himself as a successful businessman, and it happened too. And this is what you need to do. You need to be persistent in the imaginal act. You need to do it daily until one day you will feel like you are fulfilled. You don't need to do it anymore. And you will feel it internally. Something will shift. Because when you sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, your thoughts are creating the electrical charge in the quantum field, and your feelings are drawing the event back to you. So you are constructing the scene with your thoughts, and then you are drawing that scene or that circumstance or that whatever into your life by feeling as if it is happening right now. And this is why Neville, in the beginning of this case, said, only the most complete and intense use of the law of assumption could have produced such results in this extreme situation. Because this man was supposed to be dead, and now he is living a very good life, a very successful, healthy life. This is how you can change your life. You can turn your life around just by applying the law of assumption. So don't be discouraged and just put in the work. Do what Neville is telling you to do. Do what every great teacher is telling you to do. Do what Neville Goddard is telling you to do, what Joe Dispenza is telling you to do, what Greg Braden is telling you to do. Every single one of those are telling you that you should have that feeling as if it's already done. Because when you do, you are creating your own reality. And that is when the magic happens. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe to the channel. Like to reach more people. Tell me down below in the comments, what do you want to see next? Check out the ebook with all the techniques you can ever imagine in the description box below. And until next video, I will see you soon.